Shop Talk.
Hello and welcome to another edition of Shop Talk. We're here today at Pistotnik Law Offices with Brian Pistotnik. Brian, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
So Pistotnik, I mean that's a name everybody knows in this area. Tell me a little bit about the history of the place.
My father was a dentist in Wichita for like 40 years, and he was actually at this location. And of course, the whole family went to law school. I'm the youngest of three, and we've been practicing here since, I've been here since 1987.
Yeah. So tell me some of the kinds of cases that you do here.
We really focus on any kind of injury. So if you've been in a dog bite, a slip and fall, work comp, or car wrecks, if you're injured due to someone else's fault or on the job, it's a case we can help you with.
Why is that kind of law important?
People that are injured have a real difficult time, and we like to do what we can to help those people get back on their feet. And through our efforts, these people will get back on their feet. They'll get wage loss paid, they'll get medical bills paid, they'll get money for their pain and suffering, and basically gets them back to where they can live their life normally again.
Yeah. What do you get out of doing this kind of these cases? And
well, it's very rewarding to help someone get back on their feet, and of course we're dealing with people sometimes at the worst times of their lives. They have problems with rent, problems with feeding their family, and of course we do everything we can to make sure they get through it and get back on their feet. And the whole purpose of civil law cases like what we do is basically to restore them to the way they were before the accident. And it's very rewarding to get someone back on their feet.
So tell me about the office itself here, the lawyers here, and give me the rundown on that.
Sure, we have a full staff that helps our two lawyers, and of course it's Brian Cognon and myself that are here. We've done nothing but personal injury law for quite some time. When the firm started, we did some other types of legal matters, like divorce and some criminal stuff. But over the years, we're now solely focused on helping injury victims.
Okay, and also you can help people that maybe speak Spanish as well?
We do. Our receptionist speaks fluent Spanish, and we communicate through her. We have some clientele that prefer to bring in a relative, and that's fine too, but we take the time to make sure that all clientele get all their questions answered and that they understand fully what the case is about, how the law works, and they understand the whole process. And we try to make sure that all questions get answered.
Okay, and where can people find you?
We're at 2831 East Central, and this is where my father's dental practice was for 40 years. A lot of Wichita used to use him as a dentist, and we still help all the people throughout Wichita. Actually, we help people throughout the whole state.
All right. Well, Brian, thanks a lot.
Yeah, thank you.
We're here now with Brian Collignon, another member of the firm. We talked with the other Brian a little bit about the history of the place and a little bit about his background. Can you give me a little bit about your background?
Yeah, Graham, my background is different than Brian's from a standpoint of I used to be a member in a defense firm here in town, and I was actually doing the exact opposite of what I'm doing now. I used to be an insurance defense attorney, and I would be retained by the insurance company to represent the person who was at fault for causing the accident. So my role in that regard was basically to try to find the weaknesses in the injured person's case and exploit those to keep the value of the case down. When I came over to this firm 7 years ago, I basically did it because I was tired of taking on a role that didn't help people. So my goal became to try to switch sides, help people out. When somebody's involved in a car wreck or a work-related accident, they've got a tremendous change in their life, and it has a significant impact. So my thoughts were that I wanted to be a part of the solution rather than a part of the problem. So I came over here 7 years ago, and we've had some recent changes around here, so we're transitioning the firm to a new ad campaign, and we're going to be emphasizing that it's the the two Brians, Brian Pistotnik and Brian Collignon, are the Brian and Brian firm. And so we're excited about those changes, but basically it's been a rewarding process to help the injured person as opposed to helping the insurance company just save money.
I would imagine having the experience on the other side of it though helps you, right?
Yeah, it really does, because I know what the insurance company is looking for, and part of our role, oftentimes clients come in and they say, well, or they call and say, I was in this wreck last week, and do I need to get an attorney now or should I wait? And part of our role, especially with starting right after an accident, is to try to minimize those defenses that people inherently create in their case. I mean, unfortunately, they'll talk to the insurance company, and the insurance company will say, hey, we're going to take care of you in the end, and then they get complacent and think that everything's going to work out just fine. And unfortunately, that's really an insurance tactic to try to get them to delay getting treatment or fail to follow up with the doctor. And part of our role is to help the client avoid those pitfalls in their case that later get exploited to decrease the value of the claim.
So it may seem like the opposite thing to do when someone is in an accident is, to call a lawyer first and not their insurance company, but it really is important to call you guys first.
Absolutely, and especially with when giving recorded statements, the insurance company is looking for the individual to say something that's going to hurt their case. I mean, they're not really just calling and asking these questions because they want to find out what's going on. They're also looking to ask some questions that open up a path to either deny fault for the accident or to turn around and deny that the injuries are related to the accident. And so when a person is just been in an accident, maybe they've gone to the emergency room, they might be on pain meds, and they're giving a statement to the insurance company at that point, they may not be thinking straight, and they may have a concussion, they may have an impact from the meds, and so they end up saying something that they regret later. And of course the insurance company is recording that, and they'll use it in court later against the person.
Right.
So by calling the attorney first, we're able to step in, set up that recorded interview so that we're present, able to tell the client what to expect in that interview process and help them get through it without creating these problems that they don't intend to create at all.
All right. Well, Brian, thanks a lot.
Well, thank you, Grant.
And thank you for joining us on this edition of Shop Talk.